Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and today I'm excited to be joining you from the 2023 Golden Shears competition here at the Merchant Tailors Hall in London. There is no question that the quality, craftsmanship, and tradition that can be found amongst London's bespoke tailors is world-renowned and has made their garments some of the most highly respected and sought after in the world. The Golden Shears competition seeks to acknowledge and recognize the outstanding abilities of new apprentices as they enter the trade, all of whom contribute significantly to the vibrancy of the trade itself and its longevity. This year, I'm honored to have been invited to serve as a judge in the Golden Shears competition. Supporting London's heritage trades is something tremendously important to me, so you can imagine just how excited I am to be here tonight. It is my absolute privilege to invite you to join me as we explore the quality, craftsmanship, and tradition at this year's Golden Shears competition. Quality, craftsmanship, and tradition really does run deep here in the United Kingdom. These are virtues that have evolved not over decades, but over centuries. Today's Golden Shears competition is held at London's Merchant Tailors Hall, which has served as the seat of the Worshipful Company of Merchant Tailors since 1347. So before we get started tonight, I thought it would only be appropriate to first take a moment to learn more about the Worshipful Company of Merchant Tailors and its incredible building here in London City. Andy, thank you so much for having me here, and wow, I mean, look at this beautiful building. And so I was hoping that, prior to the Golden Shears competition tonight, you could just talk to us a little bit about the rich history of the Merchant Tailors Association and really kind of how this fits into the broader context of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition here in London.
Yeah, sure. Well, welcome to Merchant Tailors Hall.
Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful building. It's an absolute honor to work here every day. I'm the Beadle, as you say, and my role is health and safety. However, dressed like this
Yes.
is ceremonial,
Okay.
and also toastmastering,
really?
and generally calling to arms of the Merchant Tailors Company if needed, as throughout history.
Yeah.
Beadle's a name that goes back to policemen in ancient times, so it's an ancient position. And we've had a Beadle here since 1397.
It's amazing.
So hundreds of years of history.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's amazing just to me how, the whole tradition, right, in the United Kingdom of craft isn't something that's developed over decades or even 1 or 2 centuries, but we're talking several centuries. I mean, since the 14th century, this association has existed with the purpose of supporting craft within the trade of tailors, correct?
Correct. Although later into the 15th, 16th century, we moved away from tailorship.
Okay.
It was more into selling wine and pelts abroad. Tailorship with the Golden Shears is something we've come back into, and we're trying to promote more in this modern day.
Okay.
The modern face of merchant tailors, if you will. Is more into corporate charity giving and looking after education. We're affiliated with 18 schools, approximately 9,000 school children,
Wow.
you know, in various guises.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolutely spectacular, splendid building. I mean, the rooms are exceptional. This hall is just unbelievable. I mean, how long has this been here kind of in the current building?
In the current state, it's been here since 1959,
Okay.
which is relatively short compared to the nearly 700 years of the hall. And that was mainly because after the Second World War, the Great Hall was destroyed by incendiary bombs.
Wow.
And it was reopened in 1959 with a big livery dinner, and the roof was back on. And as you can see, the stained glass windows, the fantastic paneling, just is amazing.
Yeah, how long has it been on this site though, in this location?
Nearly 700 years.
Really?
Nearly
Wow.
700 years. So we're the only livery company still on its original site. A lot of the other livery companies, and we're of course number 6 in the Great 12 livery companies. And of London, there are 110 livery companies.
Wow.
The Great 12 are generally set in stone, apart from number 6 and number 7,
Okay.
of which we are number 6 this year.
Okay. Talk to me a little bit about that. What is that?
Well, this stems from 1484, when we had a running battle with the Worshipful Company of Skinners.
Okay.
This led to bloodshed on the streets, bumping and boring on a river procession.
Okay.
And finally, Lord Robert Bilsden, who was the Lord Mayor at that time, he got the two masters together, the masters of the company, and decided to find a way to stop this bloodshed. Because we were bickering about precedence and power, who should be number 6 and who should be number 7.
Interesting. So now you switch off every few years.
Every year we switch
okay.
over, apart from this year where we will remain at number 6 because our current Lord Mayor, Nicholas Lyons, he is a merchant tailors, and that gives us the power to stay at number 6 for another year.
It's interesting. It's amazing the history and just kind of the competitive spirit, you know, kind of amongst the different trades here in London, and just how much history there is to each and every one of them.
It's incredible. Every hall around London of the guilds has its own history, but this one's got 700 years of history, and it's amazing. You know, from visits by monarchs such as James I, who came in 1607, and I was telling you earlier about God Save the King being played here, rumouredly for the first time in 1607 to honour James I's visit.
Really amazing. Well, I mean, I can't think of a more fitting and more splendid location for the Golden Shears, and I'm looking forward to seeing everything that unfolds today and this evening. And of course, I mean, the importance and the role that the Golden Shears plays in supporting just the tailoring trade and its continuation, of course, being profoundly important.
And this is something that Merchant Tailors is very proud of, hosting such an event like this to really push tailoring back.
Yeah, excellent. Andy, thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed.
Your time and for showing me around and for brief history, and we'll have to come back and do this proper one day.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Simon, hey, so great to see you again. And of course, always a pleasure to be here in London.
Yeah.
And I couldn't be any more excited to be a part of tonight's Golden Shears competition, an organization that I know is near and dear to your heart, something you've been involved in for a very long time. And so I thought before tonight's event, it would be nice just to have you explain a little bit about the Golden Shears competition and its importance to the tailoring trade.
Absolutely. Well, Kirby, so firstly, welcome to the Merchant Tailors Hall, which is quite an historic place in itself.
A beautiful hall.
And we host it here because this really brings the origins back to the tailoring side. But moreover, it was about 47 years ago when Robert Bright put this idea of a competition bringing in the craft tailoring world. And really it was a small, really Savile Row, the West End sort of competition to begin with. And it grew into actually the education program. So colleges, universities got involved. And now, as it's known, and in fact, Financial called it the actual the Oscars of the tailoring world, and that's what it is today. So I got involved in 2006 and became chairman of it after Robert passed the baton.
Okay.
And that's what I've been doing since.
Yeah, and I know that this is important, really important to the trade itself and its ability to recognize the outstanding skills of apprentices, without whom the trade wouldn't be able to continue, and then to actually encourage interest in the trade itself, which of course is so vital to the continuing vibrancy of London's bespoke tailoring trade.
Absolutely. This is a big part of it. This is where the drive to find young people from colleges to have an interest in craft tailoring start. We've got colleges tonight from Wimbledon to Rochester to Sunderland who've made it to the finals here tonight. There's 22 of them all battling away tonight for this show in the best possible taste of craft tailoring. 5 panel judges have done it. A lot of them are past winners. They're Savile Row academies. They're people who work in Savile Row today who had judged this back in the day in January. And tonight's show is about styling it, and that's why style judges are.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here tonight, as being a style judge.
Yeah, well, it's, I mean, again, a huge honor. So talk to me a little bit about, kind of what's in store. I mean, are we judging kind of the iconic, classic Savile Row bespoke suit, or is it something more than that? And
it's
how
more
are
than
the
that.
entrants?
Yep, so 20 years ago, it was very much, 3-piece suit, beautifully cut, beautifully made. And that's how it was. Yeah. But as the development in terms of styling became more known, and obviously marks were given because of styling it, you really have to have something beautifully made with a little bit of sort of je ne sais quoi about it. It has to have a little bit of taste that can be a twist to it. And these are the ones that get the magical point. So tonight it really could happen where something beautifully made will be overthrown by something which is something grand to look at. That's the beauty of the Golden Shears, and it really is taking two different types of education. The education through the colleges and the universities, also apprenticeships. Yeah. When your apprentice can go for it and really show off what they can do and win a award tonight, that's fantastic. Yeah. And we have plenty of past winners from the row itself that have made it through.
Yeah. What is the role of the heritage firms, the Savile Row tailoring houses, in tonight's competition?
Well, there's about 4 or 5 firms tonight. Okay. I can't say who because you're a judge, but they are nevertheless here tonight. The rest of them are indeed colleges and universities throughout the UK. It fluctuates every year. In terms of Henry Poole, didn't have anyone to put forward for this year's, but hopefully they are here tonight, my students, and they'll actually hopefully be rooting for them in 2 years' time. Yeah. But that's not to say Poole's has actually won twice gold and I think 1 silver. So we've done pretty well here over the course of the years.
So every entrant or finalist in the Golden Shears competition is either represented by a college, right, where they're a student, or as an apprentice at one of the bespoke tailoring firms. Is that correct?
Yep. And not only is it in Savile Row, it can be the West one of London, it can be the City of London, and it now even goes out to other cities around the UK. So you can have someone like Chester or Exeter, where there is tailors and apprenticeships out there too as well. So it really is on a national level now.
National level, no, of course. Well, I'm really looking forward to tonight's event. I have to ask, for all the people watching this channel that might be interested in getting into the world of tailoring, as someone, of course, whose life is bespoke tailoring, where would you suggest someone get started, and how long does it really take?
Well, I think you've got to go to 2 options. Go back to school, sort of night school or whatever you can take to go back and to learn that trade and to get used to making something again. And then if you want to go into it, you can obviously go that route, or indeed try and apply for an apprenticeship in one of the companies. Typically you need to do a year of something, of just getting the dexterity of your fingers and hands to tailoring, and then you can try and apply. But it takes about 3 years before something like this in Golden Shears takes place in your abilities, I would say.
Yeah. Well, Simon, I couldn't be any more excited about tonight.
Pleasure.
It's such an honor to be here, and I can't tell you how excited I am to see what's in store this evening.
Well, it should be a good story. We've got some interesting judges. We've got some great, obviously, entrants, and it really will be down to the wire, I think, with about probably 5 of them tonight. Wow. So wish them good luck.
Yeah, well, we have a lot in store then. Thank
you. Indeed.
Yeah.
Pleasure. chairman of the Golden Shears Committee, it is great pleasure welcoming you to the 2023 Golden Shears Award. It is imperative that the clothing industry does all it can to motivate the next generation of fashion leaders and craftspeople. Nothing demonstrates this better than the Golden Shears competition. It is wonderful that the guardians of the trade training standards, the merchant tailors, Capit B, the Apparel Industries Training Trust, and the Pollen Estate of Savile Row have come together to make tonight possible.
Simon, so here we are. It's my job to introduce the judges. First up is Tony Gaziano. Harry Jarman. And thirdly, from the States, we have Kirby Allison. Finally, please welcome the Witchering Whitehalls. Here they come. They top the podcast polls, and it's Michael and Hillary.
So, without further ado, the 2023 Golden Shears Award. Let the show begin.
Robert Bright Rising Star Award is Imogen Pike.
Winner of the 2023 Silver Shears Awards is Victoria Demekhina.
Winner of the 2023 Golden Shears Award goes to Mila, Dastugue.
So here we are. These are the top 3 winners of the Golden Shears competition. Of course, Simon Cundey, chairman of the Golden Shears, and the incredible winners. I have to say congratulations. This being my first time here at the Golden Shears competition, I really had no expectations, and I was completely astounded at just, not only the technical execution of your work, but just the design inspiration. And so, Simon, I know you've got a few certificates to present. And
so this is your certificates now. You've got the shears in front of you. These are now, if you can handle it, would be your certificates that go with to be framed at home. But may I present to you, Imogen, with your, obviously, Robert Bright Rising Star Award, named after the actual founder of the Golden Shears Award. Silver shears, going to you, Victoria. Well done to you. Fantastic. That was also taken care of by our Pollen Estate Savile Row, who look after that one. And then the Golden Shears, of course, here at Merchant Taylors Hall, with the master, presents you Golden Shears.
Yeah.
Well done to you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Congratulations, all of you. And I just must ask, the amount of work that goes into these garments is really hard to comprehend. But I thought maybe you could talk a little bit about kind of what inspired you to get into the trade, and maybe what inspired you for your particular pieces, maybe starting with Victoria.
Well, no pressure at all.
Yeah, no.
I'm an engineer, I'm a formal engineer, and to me, my design was mainly analysis of the previous centuries rather than, just inspiration. And then, of course, my own vision of, classic nice suit was in there. And then the construction, that was something I put emphasis on. You can see the lines that are really run parallel, and so that is something I try to reflect, my education in the garment as well.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. It was a beautiful piece. I have to ask, if you could possibly put a number to it, how many hours do you think you spent on that garment?
2 months, maybe 8 hours sleep a day. But other than that, yes, it's just work.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Right. And then, so let's go to Mila, of course, the winner of the Golden Shears. Again, an absolutely inspired, suit that I thought was, again, did such a great job, not only in its technical execution, but also its design influence. So maybe you could talk a little bit about, again, kind of what attracted you, to this trade and your inspiration for that piece.
So tailoring-wise, I always liked construction garment, and I love pattern cutting, so it was mainly that drove me to tailoring. And for this suit, I love the 1930s in every aspect of whereas art or fashion or people. So this suit was mainly inspired by Marlene Dietrich and Elsa Schiaparelli. So it's power women from the 30s. Yeah, mainly that.
Well, top finalists. The winners, of course, is despite the historical design influences, these are all things you could see someone wearing today, which I think is one of the really important characteristics of tailoring, is that kind of continuance. Yeah. So, and then finally we have Imogen, right? Again, congratulations, absolutely beautiful piece. And I must ask, kind of what drew you into this, and where did you draw your inspiration?
So it kind of came from, I looked at 1930s suits and the classic silhouette, and then combined that with kind of 80s, 90s casualness, kind of like you're saying, accessibility to tailoring. And I think I was just really interested always in tailoring for the slow process and the attention to detail. Yeah. And I love that I got to practice that.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. I dabbled a little bit in college, through a tailoring course, and it's taught me such a profound appreciation of the work that goes into the construction of these garments. So much of that work that never sees the light of day once the garment is finished. And it's certainly a process that can't be rushed. So again, hats off to all of you. Congratulations. For just your perseverance and your dedication and commitment to the craft. And hopefully, we're able to see all of you, continuing to really bring these gifts to the trade as you really begin your careers.
Can I just touch on that, Kirby? Because the bottom line is that, we do this every 2 years. The people that have actually past winners, past finalists even, have gone into industry, and we do see a lot of them actually in our street in Savile Row, even in different parts of the world. One of our people who worked at Henry Poole was Silver Shears winner. He now works in Paris for a head designer. So you really have a great creative people that actually go on on to do many, many things. But it's key that this continues, and it's coming through the colleges, it's coming through trade, and it takes us inspiration behind people to make it happen. But you have dedicated people like tonight's winners, and it's lovely to see.
Yeah, and really all of the finalists for that matter. I mean, again, there was such broad diversity in the inspiration. And when you think of, menswear, women's wear, fashion, Savile Row and that, really classic aesthetic, represents, just one point in what is a very broad spectrum.
Well, I think the diversity we have here is always quite something. For me tonight, you had sort of homages to, like you, with Milena Dietrich, fantastic looking garments, really nice. You had a little bit of the Vivienne Westwood, obviously losing Vivienne was now inspirational for a lot of people. And even a little bit of the sort of Malcolm McLaren punk days was coming through as well tonight. So this eras of clothing was so much mixed tonight. And that was just lovely to see in everyone's creations. But, the winning parties just show that there's obviously a period in the 20s and 30s that people aspire to with lovely cuts and drapes. So credit to you.
Well, how's everyone going to celebrate then? Sleep? Yeah.
Well,
we have to go to the bar. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, congratulations again, and we look forward to, of course, seeing your careers take off. So, thank you. Well, there we go, Simon. That was amazing, and what a incredible runway of different designs and just showcasing, Savile Row and not just Savile Row, but really British tailoring at its best.
Yeah, that for me tonight was a real game changer, really between colleges and trade.
Yeah.
Obviously, some years the trade are strong, sometimes the colleges are strong.
Yeah.
But it's just unpredictable what happens. You have a panel of judges from previous who do it on technicality, and tonight's style, style flowed through. We went through those periods of costumes, winners takes all.
Yeah.
And I think just having you, Kirby, just seeing it tonight, you come to this place, it's pretty special.
Yeah.
And, I know you would enjoy it. So thank you again for being a judge.
Well, thank you for the invitation. An incredible honor. And, anything that we can do on this channel to continue to support traditional British craft, I think is really important, because the type of work that you see here in Britain, the type of work that, these young apprentices are committing themselves to is really so unique to the world. It's great to really see the trade go from strength to strength.
Every year.
The energy, on Savile Row, just how busy all of the tailoring houses are, and then to see the energy from these young apprentices, really gives me optimism and hope for a very vibrant future.
This trade is inspired by people.
Yeah.
They are here tonight looking out for talent, and they saw it tonight. And I think you're going to see some of these people, even just all the finalists themselves are talented people. So you're going to see them in industry in a couple of years' time, and that's what's special. And then we invite them back. We bring them back and they pay homage to where they started. And that's what's lovely about it. So you could hear the cheers again. You could hear that loud roars from the trade, from the colleges, and it's lovely to see. So everyone can enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, Simon, thank you so much for everything
Kirby,
you do
always.
in support of quality craftsmanship and tradition. What an honor to be here. And again, thank you again for everything.
No, fantastic.
So there we have it, the 2023 Golden Shears competition. What a night, and what a showcase of British craftsmanship at its best. What's really exciting to me within this trade is the energy you find whenever you walk down Savile Row, whenever you pop in to one of the bespoke tailoring houses, you see that energy, you see that vibrancy, not just reflected with the customers that are now, coming to these tailoring houses to commission new garments that are progressively younger and younger, but you also see it, and maybe most importantly see it, in the workrooms themselves, with these young tailors, properly trained, continuing to do work at the highest level. This is truly quality craftsmanship and tradition at its best. I hope you've enjoyed this program. I hope that you've seen what Savile Row and, of course, what British craft has to offer. And I hope that you are leaving as excited as I am about the future of British craft and bespoke tailoring. Of course, I'm Kirby Allison. If you're watching for the first time, one of the best ways to support this channel is by going on kirbyallison.com. There you'll find the largest collection of luxury garment care and luxury shoe care accessories in the world, as well as other great clothing accessories for the well-dressed, like this sovereign-grade necktie, pocket squares, braces, socks, and so much more. Of course, I'm Kirby Allison, and I love to help the well-dressed acquire and care for their wardrobes while exploring the world of quality, craftsmanship, and tradition. Thanks for watching.